Hello, my name is Aisha Ahmed, Product Manager for Courseware. In this video, we're excited to give you a sneak peek into the enhancements you can expect from Courseware this summer. The 2021 school year has been a year of innovation, adaptability, and perseverance, and we are proud to partner with districts across the nation as they have modified the where, when, and how of learning to ensure that all students have access to quality educational experiences. We're grateful for the requests, pain points, and successes you've shared with us, and we've realized a variety of enhancements to the Courseware platform and curricula over the past year in response to that feedback and the expanded use of Courseware as a primary curricular resource. We know that three of the most important things that educators need from their digital curricula are alignment to standards and educational best practices, the ability to customize content to meet the unique needs of their district, implementation, and students, and robust and actionable data to inform instruction, stakeholders, and ongoing improvement. But before we dive into this summer's enhancements, let's take a look back at what has been released this school year to make sure that you know about all of the new features and courses that are currently available. To start the 2021 school year, we launched a student course path view in the learner interface to make it easier for students to manage their own pacing, progress, and performance. With this enhancement, students can better keep track of their coursework, no matter where learning occurs. This summer, flex assignments and test pack prescriptions will also display in the student course path view. In addition to platform updates, in August of 2020, we also released the new Accelerate courses to help educators address the varying levels of readiness they would undoubtedly encounter. These 5 to 9 week mini courses provide direct instruction in the essential skills that students need to master in order to be successful in each of their high school math and ELA courses. We've been pleased to see how much educators have utilized these courses and are glad to hear that so many districts and schools are implementing them in their summer programs. Last fall, we rebuilt one of the most popular features, Custom Course Builder. With more educators than ever utilizing Courseware and needing to customize courses to align to adjusted district scope and sequences, we made this feature easier to navigate, more flexible, and added the ability to collaborate with other educators while building a custom course. If you haven't checked out the new Custom Course Builder, be sure to give it a try and be on the lookout for more upgrades to it in the upcoming school year. At the end of 2020, we launched the English Language Learning Foundations Library. With the English Language Learning Foundations Library, educators can give entering, emerging, and developing English language learners in grades 6 to 12 the targeted support they need to accelerate their English language acquisition while they make progress towards successfully mastering state standards and achieving college and career readiness. With these fully online courses, you can scale the way you support English language learners, whether learning takes place in person or virtually. During the winter and spring, we continue to release additional enhancements, including more reporting options and a vast array of new CTE and electives courses. This July, you can expect new U.S. History, English 9, and Geometry courses that are aligned to national and state standards, as well as state-specific courses in some states. These courses are built using the latest pedagogy and instructional design best practices, and we're excited to share them with you. Now I'm going to hand it over to my colleague, Jen Taylor, our Courseware content owner, to provide details on the pedagogy and instructional design of these courses.
Hi there. As Aisha mentioned, I'm Jen Taylor, the content owner for Courseware, and I'm going to talk about some of the exciting content that you're going to see in the summer release. You can see here that we have a lot of awesome courses coming out this summer, and our teams are working really hard to make them the best yet. I'm going to start by talking about our geometry course, which will release semester A in July with semester B in September. As you probably know, over the last 2 summers, we released brand new Algebra 1 and Algebra 2 courses. The missing piece of the puzzle in the traditional pathway for high school math is geometry, so we are extremely excited to release our new geometry course. This will have an aligned structure to Algebra 1 and 2 and familiar features. Not only will it have a practice component with every lesson, but you'll see clarifying big ideas to provide clear and explicit instruction on misunderstandings of ideas foundational to success in high school math. The new course is also being revised in format and instruction to adhere to our learning design guiding principles, which are designed to support a wide range of learners. Things like reducing concept load, increasing visuals that are high quality and supplemental to the instruction, student-friendly language, and more interactivity and practice will result in more success for more learners. The pedagogic needs of learners is at the forefront of design. This includes streamlined instruction with modeling, scaffolding, and practice in place. Here you see a practice problem where students can click on a worked example for support if needed. Other learner needs that are addressed in the courses are reduced reading load, ensuring the reading is not a barrier to understanding. The course also applies multiple modalities of instruction in which the instruction is clear and explicit. Pop-outs on screen are utilized throughout the course to address those needs at the learner's point of view, as you see in this example. To meet the needs of all learners, careful attention has been given to how technology is implemented in the course. Like the previous version of geometry, this version uses GeoGebra to help students discover concepts and test their own thinking and hypotheses through investigation and manipulation. But in our new geometry course, we have custom videos inserted for students to watch to help prepare them for their exploration. These videos are powerful in that they scaffold students with adequate support to be successful when they are investigating with the tool on their own. And as they investigate, their exploration is carefully guided through lesson activities that prompt them to collect targeted data and reflect on pointed questions to help them understand concepts, apply learning, and draw conclusions. So to wrap up our geometry preview, we are excited to provide a course that will give students opportunities to engage with the content in meaningful ways through a variety of instructional models so that they can build conceptual understanding and procedural fluency of geometry for lifelong application. We're developing an entirely new U.S. history course that goes beyond names and dates content to an inquiry-based model that integrates multiple perspectives. This approach will extend to all of our future social studies development efforts. We want social studies learning to focus on both analytical thinking and historical content. I'm going to showcase a few things that are happening in our new U.S. history course. A competitive and socially just history course must deliver content that centers underrepresented voices and presents information through multiple experiential lenses with an eye towards sensitivity. Our new U.S. history course is being developed with a deliberate eye toward multiple perspectives as part of its fundamental design with specific content identified for this purpose. In the early stages of course development, we sought and implemented input from outside DEI reviewers on both the course scope and sequence as a whole, as well as targeted lessons after writing. We're also including media and images that align to specific representation metrics as a means to make sure that every single student can see themselves represented in the course. Each lesson in the new course begins with an inquiry question to guide student thinking. These questions are revisited throughout the lesson to provide a seamless learning experience. We're also developing historical thinking skills lessons that provide instruction and modeling of cross-cutting concepts contextually within the content. Historical thinking skills lessons are placed as an introductory lesson of each unit with skills integrated in each subsequent lesson of the unit. Some examples of these interwoven concepts include making historical comparisons, understanding continuity and change, and analyzing quantitative data. And finally, the way content is presented in the new U.S. history course really focuses on supporting the learner's experience and comprehension of concepts. The new version includes a read and analyze feature that allows for guiding questions and documents at point of use and provides opportunities for close reading and scaffolding as needed. Through the use of pop-up boxes that students click on at point of use, students are also kept on the tutorial screen rather than having to click a link that opens in a new tab. The look and feel of the content is also carefully formatted to intentionally use hierarchical headings, bullets, bold-faced text to make parsing text easier. By doing this and other things like reducing the text on screen, chunking information, and including a wide variety of technologically enhanced interactions, the concept load is reduced, student engagement is increased, resulting in a more successful and pleasant student experience. U.S. History is releasing Semester A in July, and Semester B will follow in October. And finally, I want to showcase what we have releasing for English 9, which will be releasing Semester A in July with Semester B to follow in October. English 9 is especially exciting because this course is being developed for the Tier 1 classroom. So, what is a Tier 1 implementation? A course built for a Tier 1 implementation provides ways to differentiate for a range of learners, taking advantage of teacher and peer interactions, and engage synchronously. We are addressing these needs in a few ways, so I'm going to start with an overview of course features and then wrap up with the grand finale, the brand new unit teacher guides. The features and design of the English 9 course were really developed to ensure that this is a good for all course, meeting the needs of credit recovery as well as Tier 1 instruction. We worked carefully to make sure the content and experience was good for kids who might not be taking the course alongside a teacher or classmates, but that also may be folded into a teacher-full experience. This is where teacher guides bridge the gap. Traditionally, Courseware has been very skill-centered, but this course shifts to a text-centered teaching. The new course has publishable quality, full-length, authentic texts that incorporate a lens of diversity. They also align to specific DEI metrics that were laid out, and they are just the type of reading you would expect for students at this level. So rather than the text being an afterthought to skills, this course is built around the text. English 9's literature program has been built with authentic texts that provide diversity of representation in both authorship and character experience. Care has been taken to select texts of adequate length that are engaging and relevant. Like U.S. History, English 9 is also implementing a read and analyze feature, which keeps text on screen rather than opening in a new window and forcing toggling. It also provides support and guiding questions at point of use and allows for annotation while reading. Another thing you'll notice in the new course is that texts actually work together to build connections and teach something other than just reading skills. They build world knowledge about concepts. Thematic units each have a guiding question, and all of the lessons and activities work together to address that guiding question. A new feature inside lesson activities coined as Connect and Reflect provides opportunity for students to take skills and concepts from the lesson and apply it to the work they will do in the unit activity. Then the unit activity culminates all of the work of the unit in a grand finale performance task. At the end of the unit, kids walk away with a greater understanding of the world around them. And now for the most exciting feature of the English 9 course. Our Learning and Assessment Design Realization team has done a fabulous job designing brand new unit teacher guides. They are designed to help teachers integrate courseware into their daily instruction, providing detailed teacher supports for every activity within the unit. This first slide shows the lesson pacing provided for each lesson, as well as some of the other front-loading information provided for teachers, such as learning objectives and state standards. Focused text information and vocabulary is also unpacked at the beginning of the lesson's guide. But let's take a look at some of the features in the guides that support teachers and their instruction. Each lesson is structured to encompass 2 days, with day 1 focused on previewing the text and skill acquisition, and day 2 focused on reviewing the tutorial, text, and introducing the lesson activity through targeted scaffolds. You'll notice the margin of the guides calls out specific slides that represent the big ideas of the lessons to support teachers in the instruction of key concepts. Here you can see a few of the teacher supports on day 1 of a lesson. The Build Key Concepts feature points out the concepts that should be the focus of lesson instruction. Student-friendly language is provided to support teachers in how they explain ideas so that conceptual understanding is achieved. The Discuss and Think section is a place to elevate the speaking and listening standards and provide questions that will help teachers assess conceptual understanding of students. These aren't just simple recall questions, but are more focused on making connections between ideas or applying concepts in novel situations. At the beginning of each lesson in the unit teacher guide, there's a table that actually outlines all of the vocabulary included and categorizes it based on what terms should be a focus when the lesson is introduced, what is foundational vocabulary that might need to be reviewed for scaffolding learning, and what is developed in the lesson. So then as you see here, one of the supports for teachers is then how to help students develop the new vocabulary. And this is done in a variety of ways. Shown is the Freyer model, in which students make a graphic organizer for a term that has the definition, characteristics of the term, examples, and non-examples. But it might also be providing sentence examples to reinforce word meaning or giving analogies. More evidence of shifting this course to text-centered teaching lies in the teacher guide, where specific strategies to support are embedded throughout the guides. I spoke about the read and analyze feature within the lessons, and here you can see supports that assist the teacher with facilitating a deep dive into text analysis, as well as facilitating whole class and peer discussion, with guidance on providing constructive feedback. And lastly, our Courseware white paper highlights English language learner support on the ELF platform. We have the translation tool and pop-up text boxes to add clarification for vocabulary. But in addition to those supports, the unit teacher guides provide specific strategies to support English language learners. For example, through highlighting words with multiple meanings or giving sentence frames to support ELLs with ways to communicate. The teacher guide further supports the needs of all learner types through ideas for differentiating instruction to assist struggling students or provide enrichment opportunities. The unit teacher guides are a compelling new feature that position our courses for Tier 1 implementation, and combined with all the improvements and new features within the course itself, the Edmonton product team is excited about our upcoming releases and what these new courses will mean for both teachers and students.